Manchester United, the Red Devils, or should I say the biggest club in the world, my club. I rarely ever do videos on the teams I support, but today is a different story. You guys have been requesting this one down below for weeks on weeks on weeks, and I just had to do it. I had to show some love to all the people requesting this one. The last big English team that we hadn't yet done in this Rebuild Challenge series was Manchester United, and we all know how they're going at the moment. We haven't really recovered from Sir Alex Ferguson's departure at the club. Neither have we settled on a manager to really support and go with for a few good seasons. So what we're doing today is taking Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the current manager of Manchester United, and seeing if he can complete the Scandinavia Rebuild Challenge. So objective number one for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is that the entire starting 11 needs to be Scandinavian/Nordic players in the side. Those countries do include Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Iceland, and Finland. We've decided to include Iceland in there because, after all, they are the Vikings and we need all the help we can get in this challenge. And at least one of those nations needs to be represented in the starting 11 to make it even extra harder for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Number two is that we need to sell all non-Scandinavian players at Manchester United. Number three is that we need to win the Premier League, a domestic cup competition, and the Champions League, which we will play the final. And number five, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has to bring in some of his own, some of his regional talent, and show why they can get the job done at Manchester United. Let's get into season one. So guys, if you go ahead and enjoy the video, make sure to slap a like on it. It helps the video out so much. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Follow me on Twitter. The link is in the description. Turn on post notifications so you never miss out on a video when it goes live on the channel. Comment down below what the next rebuild challenge should be for FIFA 19 and what are some possible challenges for FIFA 20. But here is what Ole has to deal with in his first season. The current state of Manchester United hasn't been the best team in too long, hasn't been the best team in years. The only Scandinavian player we have in the side is the Iceman at the back, the man who came from Benfica, Victor Lindelof. The Swedish centre back is a perfect position to have. We need to build from there. We need to sign some more Scandinavian talent. We need to get rid of some of the deadwood. It's going to be a very busy first opening summer transfer window. Let's get stuck into it. And we've also got just over $250 million to spend in this transfer window, and I might be thinking of buying a few youth scouts, maybe in Norway or Denmark or even Sweden. Maybe we should use all three youth scouts and see what talent we can find in Scandinavia through the youth academy. That'll be very interesting. So we're going to set one up in Norway, Ole's home nation, and see what we can find. See what young youth talent we can bring to Manchester United. I think that is enough time. We're going to set one up in Norway and see how we go. We're going to keep you updated with that as the season progresses. And just like in every rebuild challenge, every non-specified nation is going on the transfer list. That's right, David De Gea, Romero, Ashley Young, thank God, finally he can get out the club. And yeah, it just ensures we can sell all the non-Scandinavian talent and achieve an objective. There's going to be a lot of sales and a lot of arrivals here at Manchester United. So we're starting off the episode clearing out some deadwood at the club. I probably should be highlighting Ashley Young because that is the definition of deadwood at Manchester United. Finally, a club has come in for him. In our first few departures of the episode, he is off to AC Milan for 6.7 million, and the left back Luke Shaw is off to Borussia Dortmund for 22.7. All I'm going to say is that I'm happy that Ashley Young is finally out of Manchester United. And the departures just keep on coming here. We've just started off this rebuild getting rid of a lot of deadwood here at the club. Phil Jones is another one that needs to head out the door in real life. He's done so in this rebuild. He is off to Monaco for 12.4 million pounds, as well as Nemanja Matic, the Serbian central defensive midfielder, is off to fellow Premier League club Leicester City for 22.9. Those four players are going to start off departing the club, so it's the first signing of many for Ole. We've managed to pull the strings here. We've managed to negotiate our way through a bunch of players. The first player off the bat is going to be Sander Berge, the Norwegian. We're kicking it off with the first ever signing for the Scandinavian takeover to be Norwegian, just like Ole. He's at the wheel and he's completed the £15 million arrival of Sander Berge, the centre defensive midfielder, 20 years of age, 78 overall, and has got a decent mid-80s potential, so I'm keen to see how he can grow over the seasons. Welcome to Manchester United, Sander Berge. I must admit, I've been having some pleasure selling some of these players at United that need to be out the door, but this one stings a little. It's Eric Bailly, the Ivorian defender who's been probably one of our best defenders over the past few years. He's been cursed with injuries, but the 24-year-old, he's off to Atletico Madrid for £24.5 million. It stings a little bit, but we had to get rid of him. Farewell, Eric Bailly. So we found Victor Lindelof, his centre-back partner. It is going to be Andreas Christensen coming from Chelsea, the 22-year-old centre-back, coming for £22.3 million. I feel like they are going to work very well together and just can grow into that centre-back position. I think this is a brilliant signing. Ole has pulled another one out the bag, and we continue to march on in this transfer window. So Milan have gone and not only picked up Ashley Young, but also another one of our defenders. Marcos Rojo, the Argentinian centre-back, is off to Serie A for £9.8 million. Yet another Manchester United player going to the San Siro. So this is probably going to be our biggest signing of the entire rebuild in terms of transfer fee. The Danish midfielder Christian Eriksen is coming off to Manchester United. Tottenham's main man in the midfield, their attacking gem, has switched to fellow Premier League club Man United for £82.5 million. He's on 200k a week. He is definitely going to be a mainstay in this side. Definitely going to slot straight into that starting 11. 88 overall, 26 years of age. We all know how much of a gun he is in FIFA 19 career mode, and I'm sure will help us achieve all our goals in this video. What a man, what a player, Christian Eriksen. So we are bringing back a former Manchester United player. This man, he needs no introduction. It is Zlatan. It is Ibrahimovic, the man who bossed it for United a few seasons ago. I don't know why we got rid of him, but he made the move to LA Galaxy. Now we've brought him back for £18 million. One of the most charismatic players in all of football. He's now 36 years of age. We've picked him up on a one-year deal, but it's going to be a very short-term signing. But I believe Ibra still has one more season left in him. Welcome back to Manchester United, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. So our next signing is going to be an upgrade to Ashley Young. We got rid of him. We are now replacing him with Joachim Mayele. I have no idea how to pronounce his last name with those letterings. Not too hard to be better than Ashley Young. A bit of a hidden gem in FIFA 19 and career mode for £12.9 million. Yet another player coming over from Genk. The 21-year-old right back, 77 overall, has a very, very decent potential, and I believe can grow into that right back position. The Danes are coming in thick and fast. Welcome to Manchester United. So it's yet another Dane. We've picked up a potential strike partner for Ibrahimovic up top, Yussuf Poulsen, the Danish striker, 21.5 million, coming from RB Leipzig, still at 24 years of age, 80 overall. I feel like could be a decent man up top for us, form a little decent strike partnership with Ibrahimovic. Welcome to United, Yussuf Poulsen. So we have picked up a decent little backup centre back here that can definitely grow throughout the seasons. It is going to be Ajer from Celtic, the Norwegian, our second Norwegian of this Scandinavian rebuild. Christopher Ajer, coming for 6.5 million. He's showing great potential. He's still only 20 years of age. He's not going to start, but I'm sure he's going to be a great addition to the side. So it's going to be a defender that I think can bring a lot of experience into the side, a lot of wisdom to our young defense at the moment. Simona Keziah, for 19.8 million. He's coming over from Sevilla. The 29-year-old has been a decent little player on FIFA for a while now. At 81 overall, he might not make it into the starting 11. He can teach Christensen and Lindelof a thing or two in the back line. Welcome to the Scandinavian Revolution. Yet another Dane. So a minor player departure here. The Ecuadorian right back, Antonio Valencia, who's been at Manchester United for ages now. He's finally departing the club. It was his last season in real life as well. He's off to Galatasaray for £4.75 million. Scandinavian rebuild are going to gain their first Finnish player, and it is going to be Alexander Ring. A very basic name for the man from Finland, but he's going to come from New York City for £8.7 million. 27-year-old centre defensive mid. We just need him to complete the rules in this challenge, and the Danish representatives just keep on flooding through here at Manchester United. We've picked up two wonder kids from Denmark. Jacob Brun Larsen from Borussia Dortmund is the first of them. £10 million, an absolute bargain for the 19-year-old, as well as Kasper Dolberg, the striker who's been a wonder kid on career mode for a while now. The Danish duo is headed off to Old Trafford. So it's a Norwegian backup striker arriving from Bournemouth, the man who's apparently scored more goals than Marcus Rashford in 3 seasons. It's Joshua King, whatever you want to call him, for £16.6 million. The now 26-year-old will be a very decent backup striker, a super sub coming off the bench. He is going to make the big money move to Old Trafford. And it's the first Icelandic to join us here at the Scandinavian rebuild, Gill Fee Sigurdsson, one of my personal favourite players in real life. He tends tends to score against Manchester United a lot though. Gill Fee is making the switch to Old Trafford for £24.5 million, and our 28-year-old is going to be a brilliant player in the middle of the park, and hopefully he can perform as well as he does against us for us. So for the goalkeeping position, we had to go for the son of former Manchester United legend Peter Schmeichel. It's his son Kasper Schmeichel, a Premier League winner at Leicester City, and now he is following in his father's footsteps here, joining United for £21.5 million, and our 31-year-old, and he is going to be starting in between the sticks for us. The Danish play, it's like a Danish invasion going on over here at United, but they seem to have the most quality players in Scandinavia at the moment. Welcome to Old Trafford, Kasper Schmeichel. So 2 player departures here, one really minor and one absolutely major at the moment. Paul Pogba, the French midfielder, who looks like he's off to Real Madrid in real life. Who knows where he's actually going, maybe even Juventus, but in this career mode, we've sold him to Barcelona for £120.5 million. That is going to benefit the transfer budget a whole heap, as the dynamic 25-year-old midfielder is off to the Camp Nou. Meanwhile, Joshua Boy is off to Napoli for 680k. So a big difference in between those 2 transfers there. But farewell Pogba, that one has to sting as well. So we have just gone crazy and sold a whole batch of non-Scandinavian, non-Nordic players here in a row, probably about 4 or 5. First, we're going to start off with Under Herrera, moving to Fenerbahce for 21.2 million. Andres Pereira moving to Merseyside for 12.1. Another player moving to Merseyside, Jesse Lingard, this time to our bitter rivals in Liverpool for 24.2 million. Matteo Darmian, the Italian left back, is off to Besiktas for 6.8 million, but a decent little bunch of player sales going on there. So a backup goalkeeper for Kasper Schmeichel for the time being will be the Norwegian Almenning Jarstein, coming from Hertha Berlin, will be joining us here at Old Trafford. We picked him up for what, £18 million? And the 33-year-old will be linking up with fellow Norwegian Ole Gunnar Solskjaer here at Manchester United. So it's a major player departure here. Anthony Martial, he is off to Serie A. He is off to Italian giants Juventus. We probably could have sold him for more. The 22-year-old will depart for 51.4 million. But there he goes. One of United's most promising players from over the seasons will be departing the club. And you could probably see this as the Anthony Martial replacement. Pion Sisto, yet another Danish player joining us here at United, will be joining for £15.5 million, coming from Celta Vigo. The 23-year-old did score against United a couple of years ago in the Europa League for Midtjylland, I believe. He's going to be yet another decent super sub attacking player for us off the bench. So yet another decent batch of player departures here on deadline day. We had Sergio Romero depart the club a few weeks ago for 10.6 million. Then we had Martial. Then now we move on to Angel Gomez going off to Dortmund for 1.55 million. Chris Smalling, finally, the English defender who should have been out of Manchester United ages ago, is off to Napoli for £12.1 million. So it's a bit of an impulse deadline day pickup here, and you guessed it, it is another representative coming from Denmark. It is Joachim Andersen, the 22-year-old centre-back coming from Sampdoria, is actually linked to a few Premier League clubs in real life, but he's making the switch to United in this career mode. He's got a decent potential as well in FIFA, and considering that Chris Smalling sale, we needed another backup Scandinavian defender, so welcome to the club, Joachim Andersen. So that is going to conclude Ole's summer transfer business here. He's bought in £342.4 million worth of Scandinavian talent, sold £364.88 million of dead wood, and just major player departures at United in this window. It's been a very busy summer. Now we're ready to perform in the season. There's a bunch of Scandinavian and Nordic talent that we still are unable to sign in this window, so hopefully in January we can pull a few strings, maybe in season number 2, bring in even more depth and talent to the squad. But we're going to check in with you at the halfway stage. This is how we line up. Ole's at the wheel. How good does it feel? So in the first half of the season, we're currently sitting on top of the Premier League table. I do not know how. We're not used to seeing Manchester United in the top 4 as of recent years. But here we are on top by 6 points. Man City, Arsenal and Everton are in the top 4. Wolves and Burnley right outside in 5th and 6th. Chelsea, Liverpool and Spurs all outside the top 4 as well. Ole is well and truly making his mark on this side. We're still in the FA Cup with a round 3 match up against Burnley. We got knocked out in the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup 4-3 to Wolverhampton Wanderers. And in the Champions League, we finished up in second position in our group. Juventus finished on top with 15 points. We go through with 12, and that means we have a game against Schalke in the round of 16 in the Champions League knockout rounds. Like I said, in this window, we're going to try getting players that we weren't able to in the summer transfer window. And one of those players was Robert Skov, the right midfielder, coming for £11 million. Yet another Dane coming from Copenhagen. The 22-year-old has a decent potential on career mode, and I'm sure will be a superb addition to this side. So we literally can't bring any more players into this window because all the players are either out on loan or recently joined their club. So we're going to have another youth scout, and we're going to send him to Sweden, yet another nation in the Scandinavian region. There we go. For 9 months, we literally can't get any players we want. We might as well spend our money in this window on yet another youth scout. So it's not really a transfer window to remember or one we're going into thinking that we would have done such little business. It's only Skov we've brought in, and Mata is leaving on a pre-contract, as well as all these players leaving due to their contracts not going to be renewed. So they will all be departing the club at the end of the season. So not too many improvements to call upon in January. Not too many sales either. So a quiet winter transfer period. Let's see how this side can do in the second half of the season. So we've reached the end of the season, and we've somehow ticked off an objective by winning the Premier League by 1 point against our crosstown rivals Manchester City. It's what you used to see in the old days. Now Manchester City winning leagues left, right and centre, but we grind it out. We edge it out by 1 point. Meanwhile, Arsenal and Spurs finish off the top 4. Wolves sitting in 5th. Chelsea, Everton and Liverpool all making up the top 8. But what an achievement for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's at the wheel, and he's taken United back to the top here in England. We are champions of England. Yet again, we're only won it by 1 point. What an amazing achievement. Cardiff, Southampton and Huddersfield all go back down to the championship. But what a first full league campaign from the baby-faced assassin. The Norwegian is taking United back to the top, baby. In the cup competitions though, the FA Cup we lost in round 4 2-1 to Spurs, and in the quarterfinals of the Champions League we lost to league runners-up Manchester City 3-2 in aggregate. Also our crosstown rivals, the noisy neighbours, getting through to the semi-finals there, and I think they got through to the final. They're taking on Barcelona. So I'd say it's a pretty successful debut season for Solskjaer at the helm of United, but I know in the next season this team can do so much more. We're going to bring in so many more Scandinavian and Nordic talents to the side. Let's see how far we can take them in the cup competitions now that we've already won the Premier League. Let's hope to be bigger and better in season 2. So we've arrived in the second season here at United, and we pretty much have £400 million to spend, which is absolutely insane. We're going to continue investing in some youth scouts, buying the players we weren't able to last season, continue to improve this squad and to make it the best we can in order to compete in multiple cup competitions. Let's get stuck in to the transfer business. So we're kicking off this window with 2 pretty big signings. We're going all out this season. We're bringing Emil Forsberg, someone we should have brought in the first season but actually transferred to Bayer Leverkusen, so we've bought him in the second season for £30 million. The Swedish midfielder, the 27-year-old now, is on his way to United, and I'm sure will be a very decent player in attack for us, as well as Mohamed Elianusi, a FIFA fan favourite from across the years. Him and his brother definitely in FIFA, known for their pace on the game. The Norwegian is joining up with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer here for £17.9 million. He is coming from Southampton. The now 24-year-old, he's got that something special. Hopefully he can bring it to Old Trafford. And this is sad to see. The legend Zlatan, he is retiring at the end of the season. This could be the captain's last ever season playing. It is a sad time right now. As you can see, we can't sign him on a new contract either. He is hanging up the boots at the end of this one, so let's make the most of it. So we've picked up yet another Norwegian representative for Ole, and it's the wonder kid from years gone by, Martin Odegaard. What a throwback this guy. £20 million. We picked him up from Real Madrid. Had to wait until his loan expired at Vitesse, but the still only 20-year-old is going to join us here at United, still showing great potential, 80 rated. I think he can really flourish here at Old Trafford, and hopefully he can benefit the Scandinavian rebuild. And along with Odegaard, we also picked up a backup centre-back, Vestergaard from Southampton, for £16.9 million, 80 overall, 26 years of age. He's going to be decent at the back for us, as well as another wonder kid, 19 years of age, Alexander Isak, who was predicted for big things, the Swede, but we have brought him here to hopefully develop his career and be a backup attacker for us. But the Dane and the Swede both make their way to Old Trafford. So we've gone ahead and bought literally the only Finnish player that I'm intending on starting in this side. It is going to be Lukas Haradecki. I've probably butchered that name, but for £28 million we get a solid goalkeeper for the side, 84 rated, 29 29 years of age, and he is arriving from Bayer Leverkusen. Now he can take out Ring, put Hradecky into the side, and improve the midfield. We couldn't pick him up in the first season, which was a bummer, but in season number 2, he finally makes the switch. So we continue to strut our stuff in this second summer transfer window here. We sign the Danish trio. First of them is Victor Fischer, yet another former FIFA wonder kid. He is a decent little player to have in the side. He's got that something special, as well as Pierre-Emil Højbjerg, yet another former FIFA career mode wonder kid. I don't know what's going on with us signing all these former great youngsters, but the major one out of this trio is Thomas Delaney, coming from Borussia Dortmund. The 27-year-old, 83 overall, came for 22 million. We bought Højbjerg for 18.2, and we also bought Fischer for 21.5, so a decent bit of business there. And the Danes just continue to keep on flooding in. So it's actually someone that I've had my eye on and have been looking forward to signing in this rebuild. It is going to be Mattias Svanberg from Bologna, the Swedish wonder kid we picked up for 5.2 million. He's only 20 years of age and he's got a decent mid-80s potential, so I'm keen to see how he fits into the squad, keen to see if he can get some game time and grow over the seasons. But Mattias Svanberg, definitely a little hidden gem in career mode. So in season number 1, we picked up Gill Fee, and in season number 2, we're going to pick up his brother, Arnor. Yes, that is right, the Sigurdsson brothers are making their way to Old Trafford. We got a bit of brotherly chemistry. The siblings are at it yet again in this rebuild, and we've brought the Icelandic pair to Old Trafford. Arnor, not as highly rated as his brother, but more of a hidden gem. He's got some decent potential on the game, but he's going to increase the Icelandic quota in this side and also just have a bit of fun with his brother at United. And well, it's a major player departure here. Romelu Lukaku is finally departing the club for 98.5 million. His former club in Chelsea have shelled that amount out for him, for them to get him back at Stamford Bridge. And wow, the Belgian talisman is off to London and is probably our biggest player departure yet. So if it wasn't for a broken fax machine back in 2015, David De Gea would have been out at Manchester United. He would have been going to Real Madrid, but we finally made the sale happen here. David De Gea is off to PSG for £62 million, followed by 2 minor player departures. Fosu Mensah, the Dutch right back, is off to La Liga. He's going to Espanyol for 7.3. Hamilton is off to Bristol City for just under £1 million. So we've got a bit of a weird sale here. I don't know what Arsenal fans think about this one, but the Chilean winger Alexis Sanchez is making the switch back to Arsenal. Unai Emery has picked him up. He's returning to London, and just like Lukaku, joins his former side for £27.5 million, and now 30-year-old is become a Gooner for the second time. And along with that sale comes so many more player departures, rounding out these sales so far. McTominay is off to Cardiff for 12.9. The Brazilian Fred is off to Inter Milan for 18.7. Rashford is off to West Ham of all places. Tuanzebe going to Watford for 5.9. We are getting these deals done, and this window has been very hectic. So these were the last few sales we were able to make before deadline day finished up, and it's Diogo Dalot headed off to Bayer Leverkusen, Dean Mitchell headed off to Valencia, Joel Pereira, the Portuguese goalkeeper, off to Middlesbrough, yet another goalkeeper, Grant. I have no idea why United signed this guy in the first place, but he's off to Brazil. And that is going to finish off our business. What an insane window. 190 mil spent, 306 million gained into the transfer budget. An absolutely insane window. We're going to end it off there. In terms of our youth academy, we haven't had that much luck finding like brilliant youth talent. Just a few here and there who I don't think are all too special, but we'll keep you updated on the youth academy as well. And this is our Champions League group here. Dortmund, Sevilla and Club Brugge. Group F should be a bit tricky. I'm sure we can qualify for that top 2 though and progress out of the group, but it will be a tough time for us. So this will be the team going into the first half of the season with all nations included. All of Scandinavia is involved in the starting 11. We've got a Norwegian and a Dane up top. We've got a Dane in Christian Eriksen, the Icelandic midfielder Sigurdsson, Swedish defender in Lindelof, and of course the goalkeeper from Finland in between the sticks, Hradecky. We only have a few more non-Scandinavian players to sell as well, so we'll look forward to doing that in January and wrapping up that objective. So halfway throughout the season, it looks like Arsenal are running away with things here. They're 11 points out in front on top of the table. Meanwhile, we're sitting in second with 39. Chelsea, Liverpool and Everton pretty much making up the top 5 there. Bournemouth in and around that area, 6th for them. Man City and Spurs are outside the top 4, which is a bit weird to see. We took an L in the Community Shield, losing 2-0 to our noisy neighbours, Manchester City. It's good news though, as we're still in the FA Cup. We've got a game against Nottingham Forest in round 3. And in the Carabao Cup, this is probably our best chance to get some domestic cup silverware here. We're in a semi-final up against Stoke City, so we'll see how that one plays out. Meanwhile, it's Millwall and Chelsea in the other game, so it could be a Chelsea-Man United final. And in the all-important Champions League, we came second in Group F by 3 points. We managed to scrape into second with 10 points. Meanwhile, Dortmund finished top with 13. We get Olympic Lyon in the round of 16, so a very interesting matchup there. So in January, we were able to pull off a bit of transfer business here. We brought in a little wonder kid duo with Haaland, the Norwegian striker who scored 9 goals in a U20 World Cup match, as well as Victor Nelson, the Danish centre-back, who is showing great potential. We picked him up on pretty much 5 million each. And then we move on to these two signings up here. And what we were able to do with them was do a little swap deal and get rid of the last 2 non-Scandinavian players left. It's going to be Ostergaard, the Norwegian centre-back, coming in, as well as Mathias Jensen, the Danish centre-mid. And that means that the club is all Scandinavian now. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has ticked off that objective, and it's another objective down. And then we've even picked up a decent little youth academy player there that's Norwegian. But yeah, the whole club is now Scandinavian, so a big part of the challenge has been ticked off. Team's looking strong. We've been hit with a lot of injuries, but that will conclude our transfer business for this window. As deadline day comes to a close, I don't know if these injuries are going to hurt us in the second half of the season. We're going to have to find out. Let's pray that we can at least tick one other objective off before the season finishes. So it looks like Ole and his boys find themselves in a Carabao Cup final here. We managed to prevail against Stoke City in the semis, and as well as Chelsea defeating Millwall, we meet in the final. That is aside going into this big match at Wembley. Yusuf Poulsen is suspended for this one, so he will be sitting out of this game, but hopefully the rest of the boys can get the job done here against the London club. Hopefully Lukaku's in the side as well, so he might be out to get us after we sold him. But Joshua King, Yusuf Poulsen's our replacement, gets a goal in the 19th minute. They were going to skip it. We win 5-4 in penalties. I thought Chelsea would have come back and won that one, but Willian got the equaliser, and then we prevailed on penalties 5-4. Coming in clutch there. We tick off another objective. We've won a domestic cup here against Chelsea. The Carabao Cup is now in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's hands. And there you go, Manchester United crowned champions. Scandinavian lads are just out here proving their worth in England. Now let's see how the rest of the season goes. Let's see how we do in the Champions League and the league. Just because we can, I'm going to sign up a few youth academy players. I know it's a bit random, but I didn't show you guys. We can't pick up this guy who's our best player right now, worth pretty much $500,000. He's 15 years of age, so we can't sign him to the first team. We're going to pick up Ove Odegaard, a left back, something which we've been lacking in this team. He was a decent youth academy product for that left back position, and also a right back in there, another Norwegian we're going to promote. Alright guys, so we've just had to stop the sim because we have somehow made it to a Champions League semi-final against Manchester City, our crosstown rivals, our noisy neighbours. We're going to see how we got there, because I literally thought we would get knocked out of the Champions League in maybe the quarters, but we've somehow made it through. We literally won 2-2 on away goals against Bayern. We won 2-1 against Olympic Lyon on aggregate in the round of 16. I thought we would have got knocked out there, but we've somehow made it through to the semis. That is absolutely insane. The Scandinavian boys have pulled something off here, and Spurs and Barcelona are in the other semi-final. How have we done that? 2-2 on away goals we go through. That is a modern day miracle, boys. The Scandinavian side, I mean, they're a very good side. We have to face Tottenham Hotspur in the final. Obviously, Christian Eriksen's former side, a North London club, a team we just rebuilt last week. Go check it out if you haven't. But I mean, take a look at this side. It's not too great. It's not too bad. It's a very, very decent squad, but it isn't up there with one of the best teams ever in these rebuild challenges, and somehow we've scraped our way to the Champions League final. What a side. The continental rebuild pulls through yet again. So before we get into the Champions League final, we're going to take one last look at the entire squad. Obviously, we had 3 solid goalkeepers, very solid backline. It's unfortunate that Lindelof is out for 2 months, but That is not good for us, but hopefully we can still pull through without him. We had a lot of decent midfielders in here, former wonder kids such as Odegaard and Højbjerg. We had Skandberg, an upcoming wonder kid, as well as Jensen, Victor Fischer, another former wonder kid, as well as Elianusi, a cult hero in FIFA. Jacob Brun Larsen was another big wonder kid, as well as Christian Eriksen was pretty much our marquee man in the middle of the field, as well as Forsberg. Sigurdsson is a starter. We had the Sigurdsson Icelandic brothers in here, which is a very, very cool thing to see. We had Joshua King up front, the Norwegian, and then this strike force is absolutely insane with Pione Sisto to finish it off. This was a side with a lot of depth, but not too much quality. I mean, there is a lot of quality in this side, but not too much, where we're just gifted with so much quality all over the park. There was areas for improvement. We literally only had 1 or 2 marquee players, but the thing about this side that I absolutely love is there's so many players that can grow and develop even further that we haven't even seen hit their full potential, such as Skandberg, Skov, a lot of these players, Berge as well. We haven't even seen them. They're not even close to their full potential. So if we took this side maybe a few more seasons, we'd see a lot more quality happen, but the depth is there. The quality is in the starting 11. Zlatan's ready for his last game as a player. Let's send him off on a high and get Zlatan to win his first ever Champions League as a player in his last game. That would be absolutely insane. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's ready. The boys are ready. Now, let's go out and do it against Tottenham Hotspur. Somehow managed to get ourselves into the final. The Norwegian Joshua King will kick us off here at the Bayern Munich Arena. Let's go out and get this dub for Captain Ibra. Delaney. Oh no, he's lost it to Musa Sissoko. Oh, this is bad news. And Haradecki with a big boy save there was straight at him in fairness, but he's kept it at 0-0 early on in the game. The Icelandic genius. He'll find Maele on the right hand side. Maele will cross it in. Surely that was Ibra's to take. We'll give it off. Oh, it's going to be Joshua King. It's going to be Forsberg. It's going to be Ibra. Oh, it's just gone wide. It took a deflection, though. That was a big chance for the captain. Forsberg, big tackle. Sigurdsson. Oh, the area is opening up here. Oh, look at this space all of a sudden. Forsberg. What's he going to do? The big Swede. He'll give it off to Joshua King. Oh, the space is too tight, but Ibra finds a way. And how has Joshua King missed that? Oh, that's a big chance gone. And Joshua King on the half volley just caught it incorrectly. And it goes wide of the post. Harry Kane, go away. Danny Rose, they're going to cross it in. You're joking. You're joking. Oh, that you just love to see it, don't you? Oh, you're kidding me. You're kidding me. What on earth has just happened? Spurs have taken the lead, and I cannot believe what I'm witnessing at the moment. Christensen, bro. I'm pointing the other way. I'm aiming the other way. And Christensen decides... Oh, it comes off his... I'm not even going to say it. We all know what it came off, and it goes in the back of the net. Haradecki just let it go in. Christensen has had a nightmare in the Champions League final. 35 minutes in, and we're down 1-0. Gill Fee, big interception. It's going to be Joshua King. He'll find Forsberg. The Swede is one-on-one with Hugo Lloris. Oh, it's off the post. You're kidding me. Oh, we've just gotten so unlucky there. Emil Forsberg. You got to be slotting those away, son. To Ibra. Joshua King. He's on a yellow card. We're going to find Delaney. Delaney wants a pop. Delaney's going to have a pop, and it's just gone wide. Corner. Forsberg's whipped it in. Oh, it's gone in! Somehow Christian Eriksen got the head to it. How has that happened? But the equalizer. Right before halftime, Christian Eriksen's going to claim it. I have no idea how that's gone in. And we'll take a second look. Oh, Christian Eriksen took the corner. It must have come off a Spurs player. It looks like it has. And we've gotten our revenge here on Spurs. It's an own goal for an own goal. I think it's come off a Spurs player there. Hugo Lloris had no idea what was coming his way. He got blindsided. And we take the equalizer here. Wow, what a game so far. Martinez with the own goal. Ooh, we can get a little counter though. Ibra's going to hold it up. Oh, we're in there. It's half time. That's going to be the weirdest half of football I have ever played on FIFA 19. 2 own goals. Oh, I cannot believe it. What a first 45. Who knows what the second half holds for us. That was absolutely bonkers. All right, Heung-min Son's going to kick us off for the second half. We'll give it off to Delaney. Delaney will find Ibra. Surely Forsberg can make a little run here. He'll find his Swede compatriot in Ibra. He'll give it off. It's going to be Gill Fee Sigurdsson. He gets the second straight on the second half. And we are not messing around here in the second 45. Gill Fee Sigurdsson, the Icelandic beast, has come up and scored the second here. Beautiful passing play. Ibra with the assist as well. And it only took Gill Fee Sigurdsson to smash it into the top left-hand corner. The Icelandic Viking has done it here for the Scandinavians. And wow, what a finish from him as well. Ex-Tottenham boy too. That is written in the stars there. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is loving what he's seeing. And we've gotten this second half off to the perfect start. It's been a bit quiet in the first half, but he'll have a little run down this right-hand side. What can he do with it, the Dane? He's going to cross it in. He'll cross it in at the back post. No one's there. It's Forsberg. Oh, it was Keziah in the end, and that was terrible. Spurs are just passing their way. They become Barcelona with this tiki-taka football. Harry Kane went for a diving header there. I don't know what he was thinking, but it's going to be Dele Alli, Haradecki with a comfortable save. Big cross in from Spurs. They're going to get a chance. They're going to get a goal. Serge Milinkovic-Savic. Oh, that has flipped the switch. The game has been turned on its head now, and in the 65th minute, the Serbian heads Spurs into the equalizer. I swear I've conceded a similar goal like that in another rebuild challenge. A halfway free kick. They've just smashed it into the box, and Haradecki was so close to getting a fingertip to that. And it's 2-2 now. We're in for a big finale here. Alright, subs are on. Poulsen and Odegaard have come on for Joshua King and Forsberg. No. We should have conceded there. That was the dumbest mistake that I ever could have thought of doing. What a save from Haradecki. He has kept us in this with a left-hand save there. Poulsen will head that on. Ibra can see the run of Christian Eriksen. He's all alone here against his former teammate in Toby Alderweireld. He'll give it off to Ibra. Ibra's going to have a strike, and Ibra's going to put it into the back of the net. Zlatan has come up trumps in this Champions League final, and the big Swede has got his goal. The captain as well has fired us into the lead here. 75 minutes in, and he's finally come up with a big chance. A big goal for him. When the occasion arrives, he steps up to the challenge. A little 1-2 between him and Eriksen. Eriksen returned the favour with an assist, and the Dane and the Swede link up together, and Ibra has absolutely pummeled that one into the top left. Lloris, no chance with that, and we go 3-2 up. Can this game get any more exciting? I have no idea, but Zlatan is aging like fine wine. Gill Fee's fired that one in. Of course, it goes to none of our players. And now Harry Kane on the break. He's just booted that one up. How much added time is there? No, what are you doing, Keziah? What are you doing? I said to clear it. Oh, wow. 3 minutes of added time. What will happen in the last few minutes? Can we get the fourth to wrap things up here? How is that not a foul? Don't tell me Spurs. No, don't get a 90th minute goal. Don't you dare. Don't you dare think about it. On Ibra's last game. Don't do us like this. Keziah Sterling. They're going to score, aren't they? Dia at the back post. Clear it out. What has Delaney done there? No, don't you dare. Get it out. Just clear it. Get it out of here. Oh my gosh. That has to be the most nerve-wracking finish to a rebuild final, to a Champions League final ever. Wow, that kept me guessing till the last second. Fair play to Spurs. They kept on going. They never gave up. Oh my, I still can't believe that. Off the crossbar from Spurs. In added time, they could have sent it to extra time. That would have made me very, very angry. We have won it 3-2, a 5-goal thriller here in the Champions League final. On Ibra's last game, Ibra, the captain, scored the winner as well. It was written in the stars. The Scandinavian rebuild, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, has his Champions League trophies, completed the rebuild challenge, and now we'll get to see Ibra win his first Champions League trophy in his career, in his last game of his career, the last goal of his career as well. There he is, the big Swede. He will lift it up, guys. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like on it, just as Ibra is going to lift up that trophy, gets his hands on the best prize in club football. There it is, the Champions League trophy in all its glory for Manchester United as well. If you liked the video, please make sure to drop the video a like. It helps it out so much. Subscribe down below. Hit that big red subscribe button. Turn on notifications if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitter. The link is in the description to stay updated, to stay connected with the channel. Drop a comment down below on what rebuild challenge should be next. And that has been the rebuild, guys. Hopefully it lived up to the hype. Hopefully you did enjoy it. I hope you have a good day. I've been BCHD, and thank you so much for watching.